Hello, welcome back to part 2 of this series on how to increase your faith. So, the first installment of this series, I asked if you were open-minded, because that is key. You have to have an open mind. No matter where you are in your faith journey, no matter whether you built your faith through life experiences like I did most of my life, or if you had a faith background through a church or through Bible or whatever it is. We talked about having an open mind. Well, today I'm going to go deeper, and I don't know where you're at on your whole spiritual journey, but what I want to talk about today is, do you believe in the promise of Jesus? Do you believe in the promise of Jesus? Okay, so the reason I say that, and some of you may be saying, well, what is the promise of Jesus? Some of you may be saying, well, yeah, I believe in the promise of Jesus. So for purposes of this video and what we're doing here, what I want you to do is study what the promise of Jesus is around faith. I've got my own perspective on it, but do some work. Take a look, Google it. If you have the Bible app, go on the Bible app, talk to your friends, talk to people that you know are following Jesus. So the promise of Jesus, right? Research that, but from my perspective, the promise of Jesus is through him we can have eternal life in God the Father. Jesus was God in the bod, as Ronnie used to say, my pastor. He probably still does say it. So that is the promise of Jesus, that if you follow him, you will have life in the full. You will experience everything God created us to experience in an amazing and beautiful way. So, do you believe in the promise of Jesus? Do you believe in the promise of Jesus? And I will ask you, if that seemed like a little bit too much, if the promise of Jesus is true and you can have life to the full, an abundant, joyful life by following Jesus, if that is true, isn't it worth believing in it? I mean, if it's not true, there's really no downside, because everything that Jesus taught will benefit you. It's all good stuff. It's all love. So what's the downside if you're kind of skeptical of this Jesus stuff and you really don't know? I'm just saying, for the sake of this series, just stick with it and approach this next part as we continue on with that mindset that, okay, yeah, Bob, I'm gonna believe in the promise of Jesus. The promise of Jesus, life eternal. If I follow Jesus, and we'll talk a little bit about what it means to follow Jesus in the future. Okay, we'll see you next time.